I know that they worked hard to push for those of us who are working in direct care to get bonuses. I know they worked real hard to make sure that we had PPE and training plans and things. I've been glad to have a union since I got the job because I have worked non-union jobs, and it's much, much rougher to stand up for yourself and have your needs met and your rights as a person and an employee honored when you don't have a union.
The nonprofits I've met with over the last 5 years working with OPEIU, they're looking for their union to be a mechanism that brings their coworkers together over issues that will move them, from an organizing drive to a vote, to a union win, to a successful contract campaign.
And they want to have a voice, they want to be respected, and they want to make sure that they don't get harassed and the discrimination that goes on. And that's one thing that unions are very, very important for the workplace, is they can give those workers protections and make sure when they go to work every day that they can go and hold their head up high as human beings and not just widget workers that walk in the workplace. And also they're looking for some stability and benefits for their families. So their families can have health care coverage, but mostly important, at the end of their career, they're looking for some type of retirement program. And that's something that OPEIU certainly can offer, a retirement program and also retiree health benefits. So we have a lot to offer for workers out there that really interests them and wants to know more about OPEIU. There's a lot to learn from newly organized groups, and there's a whole lot to learn from the younger generation out there that we are building into our social systems, our movement, and getting them more involved politically so they can see how we make change, not only in their communities and their counties and the state, but throughout the countries.
We were communicating through different channels, whether it's WhatsApp or text message or our personal cell phones, going to happy hours, having after work conversations. And so through that, I started to notice that we were becoming more united. I also got to witness one of the more exciting things, which was the overall empowerment of each of us, myself included, where we learned what rights were available to us and what things were union busting tactics and what things were National Labor Relations Board violations or potential violations, and how we could stand up for what we wanted in a fair and equitable workplace. I would say for people like me who had absolutely zero experience or awareness of what this was going to take, to not be intimidated. You will get educated along the way, whether it be from your OPEIU representatives or whether it be from your colleagues, and just to not be intimidated. It is worth it, and it is extremely empowering.
I'm not sure what was going on behind the scenes, but I know as in regards to keeping us safe, that the union was extremely involved and proactive and constantly on the employer to do the right thing.
We had seen our organization hemorrhage talent for 2 years straight. People were leaving left and right, and their chief complaint was that the wages were unfair and that they weren't getting good benefits to take care of themselves and their families. Oftentimes when you work in the nonprofit world, people sort of allude to the fact that the joy of the work is what you get out of it. Your payment is knowing that you work in social justice and that you're doing a good thing for your community. But that is something that I think that we should totally reject, because we need to be paid fairly to do hard work.
We're organizers by trade at the Public Interest Network, so I knew a lot about what went into building a campaign and how to organize people person to person. But when it came to basic things like how to form a union or what a union does, I and many of my colleagues were entirely relying on the OPEIU staff we were working with, and without them, we wouldn't have even known the basics.